hold up. Stop what you're doing right now. Before y'all continue the context, you already know. Take some time right now. Subscribe to this channel. You get what I'm saying? And once you subscribe, click that notification bell so you can get that notification so you know when I'm here. Cause I'm here, you feel me? And for y'all who also want to help support your boy, you know what I mean, support the cause, all you got to do is click in the description box below. There's 2 links. One link for if you want to donate monthly, you want to set it and forget it, you know what I'm saying, for a minimum of at least $2 a month. You could do more if you would like. Or if y'all want to do a one-time donation, there's another link. That's a PayPal link below. You know what I'm saying? You click that and you can donate as much as you want. You already know every single dollar is important. Every single dollar is appreciated. I appreciate y'all. Now, go right back into that context. It's True Talks. Because True Talks. Stay tuned, boy. What up, YouTube? It's your boy Banks. And we back in the building, you feel me? It's True Talks, cause True Talks. All right, let's get straight right into it. Bruh, so you already know, man, we out here, there's no doubt here, there's no drought here. You already know, you come for that IQ, cause that's what I do, you feel me? So you already know the other night, Sunday night, was definitely... It was, one for the ages. It was the last 2 episodes of the Michael Jordan documentary, The Last Dance. That was, episodes 9 and 10. It was definitely a wonderful 5 weeks, 5 Sundays that they've been dropping 2 episodes every Sunday. And, it was just at least gave us some fresh content, you know what I mean? Keep our eyes glued to the TV, you know what I'm saying? And get that, just get refreshed for that moment. Like I said, I was pinched, you know what I'm saying, when MJ started his first three-peat, but the first ring I actually remember in real time, like I've said before on my previous episodes, was the 96 finals, the one that he faced Gary Payton, and it was Father's Day and he was crying and he went on the floor when he won the ring, you know what I mean, in Game 6 at home. So definitely, like, you understand from that perspective. And now going back to the three-peat, obviously I know the history, I seen the footages, but then going back and like reliving and snapping back to that time, you know what I'm saying, is definitely where it's like, geez, this is what elite looks like, man. This man is a different breed. Like MJ, I don't care what your friends say, the GOAT, you feel me? Like, bruh, it's not even a contest, it's not even a debate, it's not even arguable, nothing. You already know an MJ picture is coming here soon. It's coming soon. When we get out of this corona, you know what I'm saying? There's definitely, I already had it on lock. I just didn't unveil it yet, you know what I'm saying? But it's coming, you already know. The GOAT definitely got to be back here, you feel me? So it's just, bruh, it's just elite to see it. And then, just have the whole world see it. Because again, a lot of these people on social media is the younger generations. They've been part of the LeBron era, and they obviously, a lot of them are salty and they're butthurt with seeing this MJ doc. They just can't appreciate greatness. But at the end of the day, it's just give awareness, give, insight, you know what I mean, just to what was going on with MJ in that situation. And imagine he's doing all of this with no social media. So imagine with social media how this would be hidden to a different level. Like, people ought to understand. So we're going to talk about what my takeaways and just my, my thoughts and just the things that I've from what happened in the episodes 9 and 10. So let's go straight right into it. You already know. So you already know basically in episode 9 and 10. So we'll start off with just episode 9, basically how they entered it, where like Reggie's like, yo, I'm a legend myself and I want to take this legend out. He's going to be the reason. I'm going to be the reason why there's no three-peat. I'm going to be the reason why he retires. I'm ending him because everyone knows going into that season, the last dance, right? That's what Jerry Krause has said. That's what Phil Jackson has said. Well, Jerry Krause didn't say those words, but he said he's not coming back. Phil Jackson said it's the last dance, and that's what everyone wrote with. You know what I'm saying? So we already know that's what it is. So Reggie's kind of like, I'm about to end this. And Reggie, Rick Smits was an elite post-up type of big man, you know what I'm saying? He didn't have the most elite defense, but can block shots here and there, but his offensive game was solid, you know what I'm saying? Actually was better than average, you know what I'm saying? He was a solid postman. Post hooks, shimmies, he did post fades, all of that, you know what I'm saying? And, you had MJ, and then Reggie also had Jalen Rose, you know what I'm saying? He had Mark Jackson, his back to the basket coming up the court, we all know that. Passing with precision, you know what I'm saying? They also had Best. They had Best as well, you know what I'm saying? And then they had the Davis brothers. Dale and Antonio, you know what I'm saying? And they also had a lot of people. They had a lot of people. Let's just put it that way. They had a lot of people, you know what I'm saying? So when you look at it from that, it's like, geez, this team was like, they were solid. They were very, very solid. You know what I'm saying? So, and Reggie Miller is obviously the star among stars for that team. And this was kind of like, Reggie Miller was kind of from that Rip Hamilton type of ilk, whereas a lot of coming off screens. He didn't do a lot of shot creating from three, but he pulled tough shots coming off the screens. Drifters curling off the screen, especially coming to the right with the kick leg. You already know. Going back to the left, pushing people, doing all the elite stuff. You know what I'm saying? And then off of that, he still shot created. It's kind of like Ray Allen too, coming off screens, but Ray Allen still shot created. Pump fake, one dribble, pull up, pump fake, go to the rim. He'll punch here and there. You know what I'm saying? Do layups, pull ups, all that type of stuff. He didn't have an elite dribble handle arsenal, but he brought it out here and there. But he scored at a high rate with his skill set, you know what I'm saying? So like, he was elite. And what makes people elite, what you don't understand, that's why I try to tell people, like, people undervalue clutch so much, you know what I'm saying? Especially with this whole new era and this whole new LeBron thing. And, you know, people want to justify, oh, he had to make the right play and all this type of stuff. People don't understand that clutch is one of the most important factors when it comes to basketball. Like, people don't understand that. Only if you play basketball, you know how important clutch is. There's so many guys that look different in the first three quarters. And when it's the clutch time, do I trust mine? What do you do? A lot of mans make bad decisions. A lot of mans' palms get sweaty. You know what I'm saying? They don't bring the same confidence in their moves. You know what I'm saying? We've seen it in DeRozan. You know what I'm saying? All those shimmies, all those one-dribble pull-ups, all of that. But once it's fourth quarter, once it's clutch time, you're applying pressure to him. Where's the shimmies? He just does the pump fake, try to draw foul because he knows I'm guaranteed at the line. People go to what they're guaranteed in the clutch. And that's what makes these guys who are different echelons, people are going to what they're guaranteed, which is a limited situation. Like LeBron, if I don't have my drive, I'm not really too comfortable. My shot here and there, depending on the game. But if I don't go to the paint, I'm not too comfortable. I'm going to make the right play. In those tight decision situations. You know what I'm saying? LeBron doesn't get recklessly double teamed. People don't do that because they know he can play make. So when he passes, he actually is still one-on-one. They're just kind of gapping. That's not enough to pass. You know what I'm saying? Because you've seen Jordan and Kobe and those guys and KD's, even with man's gapping, they pull. You know what I'm saying? So it's like in those small, tight windows of decisions, it's like, what do you do? In the clutch time, do I trust mine? You know what I'm saying? So when we look at that from that perspective, you could see that clutch takes people to a whole different echelon because you can only be on that echelon. Take it in like MJ, Kobe, all these different breeds. Other mans, like I said, go to their most guaranteed take because you don't want to suss the play. You're down one, tie game. You want to get the bucket. You want to have a for sure bucket. So it's a mental game. A lot of people, they're only go to what they're comfortable. Oh, I don't trust my shot like that. I'm going to the paint. I'm scared of the free throw line. Okay, I have to take this jump shot maybe, you know what I'm saying? Hopefully it goes in. People, and you can tell just because you take the shot doesn't mean you try to will it in. You can tell when someone took the shot hoping it goes in, and you can tell when someone takes a shot knowing it's going in. I'm about to hit this. You know what I'm saying? And you can tell when they kind of just throw it and they're not really focused on the shot. You can tell the difference. You know what I'm saying? This like deer in the headlights. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that Kobe, MJ, and these guys go to elite takes as their guaranteed take already puts them on a different echelon. Like, how am I doing moves that man's doing preseason and man's doing practice with no lights? I do that in the clutch in the biggest moments of moments. That's what I do. Like Michael Jordan step back, like push it. Like those are elite moments that people don't do for game winners. Like look at people's game winners. Like this is what mans are doing. Like it's crazy, man. They're on a whole different echelon. That's why I try to tell people, look at all the greats you think of, the Larry Birds, the Magic Johnsons, the Kareem Abdul-Jabbars. You know what I'm saying? All of these Hakeem Olajuwon. We can go down the list. You got the Kobe, MJ. You got KDs. You know what I'm saying? You got all these type of guys. You know what I'm saying? LeBron, everybody. What makes them to a different echelon is at least they have to have moments. As much as all their games are different, what makes them relevant and in the same ballpark is the clutch ability. If you just get buckets, there's so many guys that get buckets in the league. There's so many guys, especially now in this era. What makes you different is, do you get buckets when it matters? Look at Larry Bird. We've seen all his greatest moments. Look at their greatest moments. Clutch, Larry Bird. And Magic Johnson, his rookie year with the hook shot, clutch. You see what I'm saying? No matter, even if he's a passer or whatever, he's still got a clutch bucket. In the clutch time, do I trust mine? You know what I'm saying? Kareem Abdul-Jabbar already know hook. You know what I'm saying? MJ, Kobe, you already know. Even LeBron has had some moments. You know what I'm saying? If he didn't have those moments, it would have even been worse. You know what I'm saying? We already know this about these greats. So as much as their games are different, have game with it. Even John Stockton, the most elite passer type of playmaker, type of point guard. Still, we see him get game winners. Even on that last shot that we seen. Who pulled it? Was it Carmelo? No, it was John Stockton. I'm not passing this shit. I'm pulling. That's why I try to tell people, like, you score first, pass second. Don't get it twisted just because I get 10 assists. Like, that already just shows you what matters. What makes you different. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm trying to tell people. They just don't undervalue clutch. Rate shit accordingly. I've been said it from time. You know what I'm saying? So now when we look at it from this documentary, you know what I'm saying? We look at it from the first part. Reggie Miller, he's been the clutchest of clutch shooters. You've seen what he did. Give MJ the push, I'm out, and got the bucket. He's like, yo, we're not going down through, and you will yourself to victory. We've seen what he did with the Knicks in the clutch. You know what I'm saying? We've seen what he did with the Spike Lee. We've seen Reggie, like, the amount of game winners and shots that were like, nah, the game's over, and he hits it. It's like, there's so many ones, even versus the Nets, we don't even bring up. That was later on. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so many ones that he's had that, like, he's elite, and he could have sold out and went somewhere else, but he stayed with his Indiana team until he retired. And it's unfortunate he didn't get a ring. And that's why I say MJ's such a different breed. There's so many greats that don't have no ring, 0 rings because of MJ. We can't say that with LeBron. I can name so many, a plethora of people who ate in his era. MJ 6-0, I stopped bare mans. Gary Payton, he didn't get a ring till MJ retired. Gary Payton, we shut down. Carmelo, we shut down. John Stockton, we shut down. Charles Barkley, we shut down. Clyde Drexler, we shut down. What are we talking about here? Sean Kemp, we shut down. What are we talking about? Shaq, there's so many guys even in the East. Reggie Miller, not even in the actual Game 7. Patrick Ewing, there's so many guys. We don't let them get a ring because of I'm here. Once I'm here, nothing for you. You know what I'm saying? Magic Johnson could have got his 6th, shut down. From the first one. Like, there's so many greats in his era that don't win no ring. In fact, Hakeem won 2 rings when I retire. Hakeem would have been part of that. Like, y'all gotta understand the different breed MJ's in. 6-0, 6 and 8 years, 2 3-peats. Like, it's not even a conversation with this GOAT shit. Anyways, we move past that. So we seen obviously Reggie versus MJ, and MJ was obviously like, yo, that series was the most toughest series because you understand when you get older and you get older, it's more so skill set and just pure sheer will and mentality. You know what I'm saying? Like MJ said, that's what he said. My earlier years, I could just impose my will. I was athletic. I had so much energy. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just donning and dunking over man. Like it's light work. And I have my skill set with the compilation of dunks. I have both kind of going for me. Like this is, bro, it's unguardable, calling audible, but this difference now when we're all older. I got different type of teammates. You know what I'm saying? We're all older, get into the back end. I retire. I'm not used to this. Now I get a straight 3-peat. And this last one, especially when I'm burst, played 82 games, won MVP. But it's like, bro, we come get these dogs that are physical like the Bad Boy Pistons. That's what he said. The toughest ones was the Bad Boy Pistons and Reggie. Those were his 2 toughest reckless series. And what is that? The East. Not the finals. The East. Like, what are y'all talking about? Look what they had to get through. Like, bro. Anyways, keep going. So now when you look at it from that perspective, he's like if you understand the will and the ability that actually just made MJ get past a lot of these things, like he's just different, man. He's just different, man. That's just pure will and just Mamba Jordan mentality. It's the same type of mentality, man. Like it's just crazy, man. It's actually just crazy, man. We call that Eminem, Mamba mentality, man. MJ, I don't care what your friends say. Like it's not even a discussion, man. You gotta trust them. Anyway, so we keep going. So that happened in the first part, and then we go to obviously the 97 finals. You know what I'm saying? So the 97 finals. So obviously MJ they beat Reggie Miller and them. That was 98. But I'm just going in order of how they showed in the documentary. You know what I'm saying? And then we go from the 97 finals. And the 97 finals, that's when you had the Jazz the first time. And the Jazz the first time, bruh, what does MJ do? And they kind of showed, I like how they showed just the character development and scene development. If that's a word, I just made that up. Like they just showed you like how this scene is gonna look elite because a scene sets up the next scene. Like it's just beautiful, man. How they were doing it is just the subtle things that you gotta pay attention to if you're just watching, tuned in. Like it was just what elite looks like, man. Like they showed him talking about Brian Russell's on his tippy toes. This is the first the first ring versus the first finals versus in the 97 versus the Jazz, where he's like Brian Russell, he's been on his tippy toes. They set it up when this man was talking during the Dream Team and all them eras when they saw them. You know what I'm saying? And when he retired, I mean, he's like, oh, sorry, yeah, when he retired, and Brian Russell's like, yo, I wanted to lock you up. What you retire for? So it's like little things like this, MJ, like Dons don't, any little thing you say, even if you just say shh, oh, say word, okay, say less. That's what the Dons do. What'd you say? Even if you just mumble, even if you just make a screw face. What? You know what I'm saying? Any little thing, I'm going to destroy you. You better stay humble and stay silent. Don't even make a word. Don't make a peep. Don't even smile. Don't smirk. Don't do nothing. I'm gonna take that frown off your face. Watch. Buckets. You know what I'm saying? So he's like, Brian Russell's on his tippy toes. He's leaning. Based on his tippy toes, he kind of uses his tippy toes and he leans. Once he leans, it's over. So what did he do? Hezzy, he killed him, 1 dribble pull up, game winner for the Jazz. And it's kind of like, they kind of set it up, man. They kind of set it up that first part, because if you know, when it came to the last part with the last shot, those two straight buckets that he got at the end in the last 37 seconds, the most elite 30 seconds of NBA history for one man. Man made 3 straight elite plays. What did he do? He did, his signature Hezzy, his stunt twinkle toes Hezzy, blow by, Russell's leaning, layup. The next time, Hezzy, blow by, he's leaning, push. Even though it's a slight push, he's already, if you look, he's on his tippy toes. Like when Brian Russell jumps to a spot, he's so bouncy on his tippy toes that he's always leaning. And MJ and these guys, they scout and look at certain things that you do that are weaknesses. I'm gonna take that to advantage. He's not used to most mans when they make a move, he cuts off. He doesn't have to change direction OD. But MJ's so elite, he's just in headlights. Hezzy, he knows, he jumps to the spot, pull back. It's over. Even if he didn't push, even if he just did a behind the back pull back like that, he's already dropping. His knees are buckling. Palms are sweaty. Like his knees are he's already torn ACL already. I'm surprised he didn't even tore his ACL on that play. He's already leaning. If you go back and watch the footage, like I already did a breakdown on that. So you can go back and watch, you know what I'm saying? And so they kind of set it up, and we already seen what elite looks like. So in the 97 finals, he already got the game winner. What was it, game 1? And then, the flu game. Like we all know the flu game, but to actually get the backstory and to find out it's actually worse. We told you the flu, but it was actually worse. If you had, I've had food poisoning before. That shit is reckless. You can't move. Your stomach just feels like someone just giving you 25 uppercuts straight. That's how your stomach feels. Like you're just like, exactly how he said, fetal position. I've had food poisoning from Fugazi food, and I sat there, I have to drink salt water, try and doo-doo it out. Like it's reckless, man. I'm there just screaming, like the food poison is real, man. To play with that type of so he already explained the story. So I'll just give, just a quick recap of that. Basically, they're in Utah, they're in Salt Lake, you know what I'm saying? And they're trying to order food. It's 10 something at night. No one's open, especially back then. Nobody's open. Get the yellow pages, get the whatever. They find the pizza spot. And obviously they know it's for MJ. So 5 men come to deliver it. And it's like, bruh, they don't trust the food. And you already know. Remember, you understand, sports back then, like, people do reckless things. Like there was no holds bar with fans, with everybody, from the things they say. Like there's none of this. You see, we're in a sensitive era with social media. Oh my God, someone can just report this fan said this to me. It's over. Like we're from the era where mans are having brawls, fans are punching each other. Mans like Metal World Peace went in the stands. Like we have this. There's no mans. The fandom and the loyalty to we want to win. I'm gonna do anything. Like the fact that even the Raptors, when KD torn his Achilles, you see how it was a sensitive thing. Oh my God, they booed him. You see what it was made out of that. Back then, there would have been. That's not even a discussion. We're supposed to boo you. Get off the court, you weak nigga. You tore your Achilles. Obviously, I don't feel that way as a hooper. I felt bad for him in that moment. But that's the mindset of fans back then. Like it's no holds bar. It's raw, real raw. We don't play no games. So I already know. Obviously, the fans are like, yo, MG's ordering pizza. No, spike that shit. Put something in it. Get him sick. We need this dub. We're trying to win our ring. Are you dumb? We know what this guy is. He been cooking us. Get him sick. Get this dub. Take advantage. What? I'm telling you, as much as y'all might think that I'm speaking kind of reckless, that's why they're saying, why is 5 guys delivering the and we're on the road. Like, it's not like we're home. Why is Five Guys delivering this? I don't trust it. Even the trainer said, I don't trust it. Grover, he said, I don't trust it. And what did Michael? I'm Marv, bro. I'm Marv. I need to get my energy. I need man destroyed the whole pizza by himself. For no one to even want to eat it, they didn't trust it. But MJ's like, yo, nothing. MJ's mindset is like, nothing defeats me. Like, I'm a Don. Like, what pizza gonna hold me back? And then what happens? Fetal position. This is the irony. You know what I'm saying? It would be the weakest thing to actually try and break him down. Just food. I'm supposed to eat. When I eat on the court, now when I eat off the court, I'm sick. You know what I'm saying? Irony, bruh. The irony. So you already know. So when it comes to that, after that, it's like, yo, he's hella food poisoning ain't nothing to play with, man. Food poisoning. Man has food poisoning and is getting buckets. When y'all want to talk about GOAT discussion, when a man has cramps and has to get helped off by 5 niggas, you know what I'm talking about LeBron. Y'all want to bring that up? Y'all don't want to bring that up versus the Spurs when they got blown out. Cramps. The heat was too hot. What you mean? Let me not, man. And mans don't understand food poisoning. Where you can barely stand. Like, it's no joke. This is no joke. This is not no bad bias for MJ. Food poisoning. If you really had food poisoning, you know it's rough. It's rough. So anyways, man went to work, 38 points with food poisoning. Like, that's when you know someone's mentality is different. Man was struggling. Like, that's when I tell people, especially with basketball games, the most elite, it's not easy, but it's still easier in terms of scale. That's what people have a hard time rating things when it comes to basketball. They don't understand the tiers and levels to certain things. Yes, this is elite, but it's not elite in comparison to this. They don't know how to break those things down because they don't know the game. They've never played. So what they think as elite is not actually, they think everything is just once it's elite, it's elite. They don't understand that, yes, this is elite, but this is not as elite as this. Yes, this is elite, but this is not as elite as this. Yes, this is elite, but this is easier doing this in comparison to this. They don't understand. It's the same thing when I say Dennis Rodman, yes, he's elite at defending and rebounding, but that's easier in comparison to MJ's type of scoring. That's easier. There's so many rebounders and defenders in the league. Even if he's not gone, we'll rebound. Steph Curry almost averaged 10 rebounds in the finals. We'll gang rebound. We've seen Kawhi get how many rebounds? Like, not saying his rebounding is not a necessity skill, but at the end of the day, it's replaceable. Scoring. That's why the elites are different. Scoring and getting buckets in pressure moments is never replaceable. Only the elite can do that. Especially when you know my weaknesses and you know the scouting report. I still cook. That's different tiers. So that's what I'm trying to say. You get what I'm saying? So when it comes to, especially basketball, when I tell people, Jordan, like, when you're hot, when you come into a game and you just, like, only if you play, you in warm and you switching every warm-up shot. Oh my God. I'm feeling, you just have that pep in your step. You're bouncy. You feeling nice. You know what I'm saying? You're making bare jump shots and you're doing reckless shit in warm-ups. Oh my, I'm about to get a bucket. You could just feel it in your energy, and you could just feel your aura. Just before the game, you just know I'm ready, Then you hit the first one, then the game comes and you shoot it. It's lights out in the first game, the first minute you get a shot, nothing but net. Oh, you're like, nah, I'm here though. Especially when you see the first one go in, I'm here though. People don't understand the mental wars that players have to deal with during the game. That's why I say there's certain tiers and levels. Like, when you come into a game and you're already hot and you're eating and you're cooking, you get what I'm saying? And you're already splashing, it's easier to now stay hot the whole game and be clutch. Obviously, it's still hard because of fatigue and whatever. But when you're already hot in that game, and let's say you have 30, you're eating, you being clutch in the same game you're hot is lower tier in comparison to other type of situations because you're already hot that game. So no, don't give him a bucket. You're already feeling it. So the chances of you doing something in the clutch is gonna be normal for you. Or it's gonna be easier because you're already in that mode. The most difficult clutch performers are the guys who go through struggles in the games. That's a whole mental type of different battle. Like, if you play basketball, if your shot is off, it's hard to get out that slump because you're overthinking the next one. You're like, every shot, I need it. And you just don't. Sometimes it's not even just a mental thing. Sometimes you just don't have the feel. Like, when you're just about to shoot the ball, it's like, god damn. It feels like it's sweaty. Like, your form just feels off. Even though it looks the same to everybody else, to you, it just feels off. Like, it just feels like, god, it's left, it's right. It's not even on target. Now you're just in a funk. It's hard to get out of that shit. Only the elite mental guys can be like, no, enough is enough. I'm turning it on and find a shot within a bat. Like, that's different. So the fact that he's struggling, fatigue, airball, you seen the shit. Now you turn it around to now be hot and get game winners and type of stuff. That is the most elite. That is the premium clutch performers when you go from cold to hot. If you go from hot to hot, it's still elite that you're hot that game, but it's not as hard as going from cold to hot. And then you're obviously a scrub if you go from hot to cold. You're still better than the rest because some guys won't even get hot. But in those three situations, go from hot to cold is just like, yo, this man's palms are sweaty. The only thing that changed was the mentality. The only thing that changed was the buzzer, was the fourth quarter. The fact that, oh, you looked up fourth quarter, now you're cold. Bro, we don't rate you. Forget those 3 quarters because this is the biggest quarter. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, people don't understand those things. So it's like, bro, MJ killing with the flu, with the food poisoning is like, my respect even went even higher when I'm seeing, because I'm like, yo, in my mind, I was also like, yo, how is he leaning and like he can't walk from flu? Like, I played with flu. Like, your nose and stuff is hard to breathe and stuff. And I know you're in Salt Lake, but god damn, like you can't lift up. Like you're hugging on Scotty. It makes sense now. Food poison. I'm like, yo, there's no way. There's no way. Like, it makes sense now. And it's just beautiful to when you learn new things. And normally when you already know things, and it's like sometimes when they tell you something, it's like, oh, that's not it. When they tell you it's not as elite as you thought it was in your mind or as you knew it to be back then. But the fact that they tell you something that makes it more elite, bro, that just enhances them. And it's rare that you hear that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's just different, man. So my appreciation for MJ even grew even more higher. You know what I'm saying? And I already know it was like that for Scotty and all these other guys. But then after that, you have it where the game 6, where Steve Kerr made his own. And this is another debate and another argument where obviously LeBron's name is in there, where it's like the whole passing and making the right play. Passing versus Paxson versus Kerr versus Bron. Oh my God, the bars. Anyways. But yeah, the passing with Paxson and Kerr, you know what I'm saying? It's like, people don't understand. I've been said this before, and obviously some of y'all, if you're new here, there's certain things that as you get used to this channel, I've been said, but I have to always say it all the time, because it's like when I see social media, I see people comments, not just on my shit, on just comments on, let's say, Bleacher Report, whatever thing. You just look at the comments, you just have arguments with people, like you just get the consensus, you know what I mean, of what the verdict is of what a lot of people think, like Bron fans, etc., and they always bring it up. They always have to bring it up, and it's just, yeah, even like Shannon Sharp, all these guys, you know what I'm saying, the media personalities, they bring it up. And it's always the argument, ongoing argument, obviously LeBron versus MJ when it comes to the GOAT debate, but also making the right play versus you taking it yourself in the clutch. And people always want to justify LeBron's making the right play and compare it to MJ passing for Paxson and Kerr. Not understanding that context. Kerr and Paxson they were waiting for the ball, but MJ is getting recklessly double teamed. He got double teamed so bad that John Stockton actually tripped on MJ's leg, that he couldn't even contest Kerr. And even Kerr sussed by jumping into the pass to the mid-range, because Stockton, if he didn't get tripped, that's a contest. You know what I'm saying? But now if you look at the context, I'm recklessly double teamed that I literally pump fake, split through the double team to make the pass where this guy trips. LeBron has never been double teamed like that in a clutch situation. Go look at the footage. He's not recklessly double teamed like that. Only way he might be is if he's literally point blank at the rim, and a lot of the times he goes up to finish it and even makes it. You know what I'm saying? Or gets fouled. I'm talking about on the perimeter. Like, MJ wasn't even near the paint. LeBron is normally mono. At worst, let's say one pass away, they're gapping, because we know playmaking is LeBron's one of his best assets. Finishing the paint and playmaking. So we're not going to over double team him, and he's surrounded by shooters. If you're not surrounded by shooters, that's different. But he's surrounded by shooters, especially for his 8 straight finals runs. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, when have you seen what Jordan just did and LeBron just did? Yes, the result is to the naked eye. If you just look at the results, the same thing. You look at 20 points and you're like, oh, he had 20. But my 20 is different. His is spot ups. Mine is creating. Break it down. Go to a deeper level of thinking. Yes, the result was a pass to a jump shot. So essentially the play is, oh, they both pass. But no, my passing is different than your passing. You pass without being double teamed. So he's shooting a contested shot. So you have to reward the guy who makes the shot. That's why 9 times or 8 times, 7 times out of 10, they don't make that shit, and you want to blame them because they're not hella open. Nobody's double teaming you like that. Same way with the pass to George Hill, etc., etc. This is the context and the argument that we have to have all the time. You know what I'm saying? And when you look at it from that perspective, bruh, MJ, same with the Paxson one, recklessly double teamed. And people want to compare Michael Jordan passing to Kerr in comparison to Kyrie getting a game winner. Oh, look at Curry, got a game winner. Paxson too. It wasn't MJ. Are you serious? MJ created. He was double teamed OD. That's why they're wide open. I passed you. Recklessly double team. Not just we kind of come at you, because we've seen him get game winners with double teams. But this is hard double. That's why they're like beforehand. We know. Hard. They're about to be open. They can call it beforehand. With LeBron, you don't call it beforehand. We don't double you. We don't double you. You have to read and react. How is Kyrie? LeBron inbounded the ball to J.R. Smith. J.R. Smith had Curry on him. And he did a handoff pick switch with Kyrie to get Curry on him. LeBron was literally MIA, not part of the play. When have you ever seen MJ in the clutch? Never part of the play. Even the one where they pass, and then who got the layup? I forgot who got the layup. Forgot who it was. Was it Cartwright or was it Horace Grant? Or I think it was Horace Grant. The one versus Phoenix. What happened? They double teamed Jordan almost closer to half court, and he had to initiate the play. It always starts from a double team from Jordan. And then they did touch pass. I think it was Paxton's shot. Yeah, versus Phoenix. Like, what are y'all talking about? Anyway, so we going past that. So that's just, I have to go on a rant about that because I've been seeing too much reckless shit. But anyways, Kerr hit the big shot, and you already know he earned his stripes, and you know the rest was history from that. And you already know, especially with his father getting murdered and MJ's father getting murdered, they both had some type of different type of bond that, you know what I'm saying, you could see. It's just like they were alike. Same with the fight and everything. They were like, it was I guess in MJ's mind, it's kind of like, who's this skinny white kid? He's not tough like this. But then when you see him in these moments and you seen him and you're like, yo, he's built from the same cloth. Maybe not scoring wise or whatever, but he actually is clutch. Similar to like Derek Fisher, that Kobe season Derek Fisher. Yo, he's built like this. Obviously, Derek Fisher is the better player than Kerr. There's no comparison there. But the same type of role in the triangle. I'm a point guard, but I don't really hold the ball and play make OD. I'm responsible just for dribbling it up, get into the spot and passing, whatever. But I'm going to hit when I spot up, I'm going to hit, curl off a screen, I'm going to hit. But Fish did more creating pump fake, one dribble pull-ups, pump fake, go to the rim, floaters, all that type of stuff. Different player and better, but the role the role was basically the same within the triangle. And the clutch ability was the same because they're going to hit the shot. You know what I'm saying? And that's what people don't understand, right? So when you look from that point, now we go on to, I know it's getting kind of long, but you already know it's MJ. I don't care what your friends say. We got to do this. You feel me? So then now we go to the last shot. And like I said, like that's the most. So that's the next year, 98. And like, yo, that is the most elite 30 seconds of all time. Like a man was down 4. Okay. Sorry, down 3. The man scored 4 points in 30 seconds and got a steal. Like y'all don't understand how elite that is. Like y'all don't understand. Y'all don't understand how elite. One man was responsible for 3 straight elite plays. Context 2. Scotty is injured. Only had 2 points in the fourth off that shimmy that I showed in the breakdown. Was coming back in. Was hobbled, which I rate him for actually trying to just being a presence out there and being a decoy. But at the end of the day, MJ was taking basically every shot. He even said in the documentary, like, there's no Scotty. I'm taking every shot. Did we go, oh, Kerr take shot, Harper take shot, these other guys take shots? No, like, don't let the documentary fool you. These were extreme limited role players. Ron Harper, probably not a limited role player, but he was more limited in that role he had to play because Ron Harper was getting buckets before that. You know what I'm saying? But other than Scotty and MJ, everybody else was more so limited. Cool Coach wasn't, but in big games, in big situations, big series, the most he averaged was 15. Even below that, like while MJ's getting 33, 40, they're averaging that in series, and Scotty's averaging like below 20, 15 to 20. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's literally MJ, then Scotty, then everybody else. Like, you know what I'm saying? So don't get it twisted with seeing all these blowouts and seeing these things. It's MJ's package, MJ's ability, MJ's presence. Like kind of like what KD did for the Warriors. His presence makes these guys to a different echelon. You know what I'm saying? Like KD, remember that when we seen him game 5 versus the Raptors? You know what I'm saying? Like when his presence on the court, that's why they came on the gate just splashing. It's different when MJ's on. It's even different because these are actually basic role players. Like they're very basic. They're very basic. They're not like they're not crucial. They're crucial in their role, but they could be replaceable because he's won 2 different 3-peats with 2 different sets of players, and he's replaced their role. So that just shows you the only people that weren't replaceable was Scotty and MJ. But Scotty was not close to MJ's level. So understand that. Rate people, rate shit accordingly. You know what I'm saying? So when you look at it from that perspective, bruh, like I told you, MJ chucking all the shots. He missed a lot of fatigue. Remember, he's what, 30? What was he, 34, 35 at that time? Played 82 games. Just had a game 7 with Indiana, a grueling one. especially back then with physicality. And then now you come straight into another grueling, especially with Salt Lake and these Utah guys for the second straight year who want your head. Like, it's crazy, man. And he just, Hezzy blow by layup. Read the play again using IQ. That's what I do. Cookie from the backside on Carmelo. Come down. This is straight. No timeouts. Come down. No timeout. What we want, Russell? Hezzy, you already know. Hold the post. And the fact that it wasn't, some people, they're game winners. Like even Kawhi. Boom, 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 boom. Or some people, boom, 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 the rattles. Some people, it hits the back rim. Boom. Back rim, then swish. You know what I mean? But this man, straight butter. And I hold the form. And I pose for y'all. And I land and I release. Yo, it was actually picture perfect. Like, the man's not even in the play. You created the most elite shot you could get. It wasn't like it was hella content. Like, everything he did was picture perfect for the last 37 seconds to end his career. They're like, y'all don't understand how difficult that is. That hard. That's just there's no discussion. There's no discussion at all between this GOAT. There's no GOAT. Like, don't understand. 3-peat? And this was gonna segue into him retiring because he still felt like he could win a 7th. 3-peat? I retire. Both taking it. 3-peat, I retire. I don't lose it from playing. I 3-peat. Once I win the ring, I retire. Go play baseball. I didn't lose it from losing in a game. Nothing. I leave when I'm on top. Another 3-peat, retire. Like, in 8 years. Do you know how that's the most elite run I've ever heard of in my life? 6 rings in 8 years? And it could have been 8 for 8 if he didn't retire. Like, who knows? Are you serious? Yo, like y'all, and that's just craziness, man. And it could have been a 3-peat and then a 4-peat because now we're going to segue into the fact that Jerry Krause and Jerry Reinsdorf is like, yo, we're breaking this shit up because you're too old. Y'all are too old. You know what I'm saying? And I want to know, y'all could tell me in the comment section who you think is to blame for this. I've also followed my IG, so you get we get these discussions on my IG going, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, who do you blame for this? You know what I'm saying? This situation is, you have it where basically it's Reinsdorf is like, yo, he's listening to his right-hand man, Jerry Krause, because Jerry Krause is like, yo, we don't need to pay for Rodman and pay for, like, these guys are old. After this year, it doesn't matter if Phil goes 82-0. He's done. Like, we're just going to rebuild. That's what we got Kukoc for. We seen he performed 1-2. You put him as the number 1. We're going to rebuild. We got Tim Floyd there, who's been there from what? They said 96, 97, all that type of shit. We get him to coach and we just rebuild. Because we're getting to the point in their careers, which is true, where you pay people reckless amount of money, but they're never going to get to that. They're never going to play to that point of where the money is valued and deserving. You know what I'm saying? Because you're basically giving them the money for things they've done in the past. But where their game is at now, where they're going to be playing within that contract, they don't live up to that money. It's kind of like you're rewarding them because they're declining. So that money's increasing while they're declining. It doesn't make sense for their product on the court, which I understand from a business perspective. You know what I'm saying? I understand that. But at the end of the day, this ain't regular business. This is 2 3-peats. This ain't regular business. This is 2 3-peats. I understand that for guys who, like, we still have hope to win. Like the Chris Paul situation, if you don't want to pay him. Obviously, they rewarded him for that elite series and the elite playoffs he had. You know what I'm saying? But that's always been the discussion. Do we overpay this guy even though we know later on he's only going to increase years? You know what I'm saying? But his money's going to increase. Is it going to be worth it? You only accept it if this man did elite winning. So it's like, yo, nah, even if we don't win, what you did is too elite. We got to reward you type of thing. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and that's going to become the discussion. That's been the discussion also too with Lowry winning the ring, etc. Like that's going to be the discussion also too moving forward with him. But when we look at it from that perspective, it's like, obviously Krause is in his era. They're not, and even this member context before the 98 season, so in the summer up to the 98, it's like, yo, they're not going to win. Even if they go 82-0, they're not going to win a ring. Like, it's done. I already know. They're old. So that was the belief of Jerry Krause and also Reinsdorf. So now when they won the ring, it's like, geez, you can see him celebrating. You can see even Jerry Krause is like, I'm not even talking about that right now. We're not going to discuss that. I'm not going to think about it. We'll see that in the morning or later down the line. Like, basically, it's like, yo, this is elite. We actually won. Like, god damn. And so obviously Reinsdorf calls Phil Jackson. And this is what was said in the doc. And They kind of cut it off to kind of create some shock factor. But when you listen to the whole thing, the context was he offered Phil a contract to come back, but it was for rebuild. It wasn't for the MJs, the Pippen, because they're not going to pay those guys. They feel like they're too old to get paid what they're going to get paid. Their game is not going to match that. You know what I'm saying? Like I've said. So when you look at that, Phil, why would Phil do that? Why would Phil do that? Obviously, Phil's like, yo, I'm out. And you already know Phil's history. What does he do? He wins another 5. Not only that, 1 year space, then wins a three-peat with another MJ-like player in Kobe. Like, what are y'all talking about? Like, you have to reward Phil. Clearly, they didn't win. Like, people don't understand. Like, I know, obviously, he's the main guy, but MJ didn't win. Phil gets there, 6. Phil leaves, goes to MJ, literally, goes to Kobe, literally, once he gets there, 3-peat. Like, what are you? Don't disrespect him. 5 rings, like, he has 11 rings total. And could almost another 3-peat. And I know Kobe, before, God rest his soul, before he passed, he was saying, yo, I regret the Boston finals, the first one, because remember, they lost to Boston, then they won. They went again to the finals and won with Orlando, then they beat Boston. So they went 3 straight years. And that could have been another 3-peat. He could have had the exact same MJ, 3-peat, and then a 3-peat without Shaq. To just to debunk all that Shaq shit. But you already debunked it by 2 straight. You know what I'm saying? But 2 3-peats would have just been like MJ, but he would have been 6-1. But in Kobe's mind, he's thinking I should be 7-0. If I'm 7-0 and MJ's 6-0, where's the conversation going now? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not debatable. Obviously, skill set, I'm the best, but it's not debatable now when it comes to GOAT. See what I'm saying? So obviously, you have Phil Jackson part of 2 different sets of winnings. Like, it's actually reckless. He almost, literally, the last three 3-peats, it's Phil. He's the common denominator in all of them. Like, it's actually reckless, and almost had a 4th 3-peat. Like, do y'all understand? Like, Phil is different. Understand that. Phil is different. So don't shit on no Phil. You know what I'm saying? Don't shit on him at all. At all. You know what I'm saying? So when we look at that, it's like, God damn, yo. Like, bruh. MJ really, like, they had 3-peats. And again, MJ's like, yo, if you don't hire Phil, I'm out. And Phil's telling him, yo, they want me to come for a rebuild. And MJ's mind is like, yo, it's literally on Jerry Reinsdorf and Jerry Krause, because one, Jerry Krause can body whatever Reinsdorf is saying, especially because he's saying, Jerry Reinsdorf could body whatever Krause is saying, because he already was in disbelief with Krause, but then they won. He's in belief now that he actually gave Phil an offer to shut the whole Tim Floyd shit down. He gave Phil an offer, but it's to rebuild. So Krause is still in your head. Not only that, he's not even in your head. You guys are actually on the same page, because you actually don't want to spend no money on older guys. That's clearly what it is. And that's the tale of the owners / GMs. Yo, they just look at product. They don't look at feeling, situation, context, rewarding. They just look at, where's my money going to? Which is not, remember, it's the business mind kicks in. Which is why they were only going to pay Phil, because he could coach these other guys. And people, I know MJ, again, too, was also saying, so who do y'all blame for that? Do you blame Jerry Krause? Do you blame Reinsdorf? To me, I give most of the blame to Reinsdorf, because he could have cleared that situation for 1 year easily. Phil, yo, because at the end of the day, Krause is giving me insight and telling me, and, you know, we're on the same level where it's like, yo, they're not going to win. Yo, don't do that shit. Don't do that shit. I want to end it. Obviously, Krause, he's overpowered. He feels like, oh, I should be the reason. All this saltiness with Phil. Obviously, I want to be done. He wants to get Phil out of here. But Reinsdorf clearly wanted Phil even with Krause there. But he didn't want the rest. So Reinsdorf had the power. He's the owner. At the end of the day, shut up. We're going for a 7th ring. We've seen what they just did. MJ has a couple years left, and he knows it. That's why MJ's salty till this day. Till this day. MJ has years left. Scotty still played. All those guys still play. Kurt actually got a 4-peat the next year with the Spurs. Like, what y'all talking about? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, he could have just debunked and overturned all that shit. And then Scotty, even though he wants his money, will be forced to 1 year to yo, we're trying to win it again. Okay. But then again, that's the only outlier. Do you blame Scotty? Because Scotty could have been like, yo, I'm out regardless. Trade me. I want to get my money. He's been sacrificing all this shit all this time. What's a 4th ring going to do? What's a 7th ring going to do for me? But then again, that will probably enhance his value when it comes to the next year. But he's looking at, remember, he just had big back injury. So it's like, yo, am I really going to sacrifice another one? When I've been like, I need to eat money, man. I need a payday. So it's like, who do y'all blame for that? Scotty, MJ, Phil, you know what I mean? Who do you blame? Jerry? The two Jerrys? Which one? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's, bruh, at the end of the day, it's just crazy. It's just a sad way to end. A sad way to end, man. Because, like, when it comes down to it, the next year, especially they're talking about being old, the next year was a shortened season. It was a lockout season. So that actually was hand in hand perfect for MJ and them to get rest and play a shortened season and get a 4-peat and make history. What, the second team to 4-peat? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are y'all talking about? Like, the fact that he just retired 2 times after being on top twice and didn't get it played out as a hooper. I know he's killing himself because you rather lose, even though, yes, you want to retire while on top. But that's if you're like old and out of your game. Like David West winning with the Warriors. I'm not in my prime, so let me get this ring and I'm out. And I retire when I get this ring. You know what I'm saying? Iguodala, Sean Livingston type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, when you're in your prime, well, it's not his prime, but it's the prime of his, is the later part of his prime because he's still elite. He still won Finals MVP, so clearly Finals MVP and won regular season MVP, averaging reckless points. You know what I'm saying? He's still clearly he can get buckets. He's still, and even averaged 20 plus, even after 3 years rest and playing with the Wizards, he still was averaging 20. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, though, as a hooper, as someone who hoops, that's the worst case scenario, is actually not being able to actually play it out and lose for your own eyes where you see it and say, oh, we lost, man, I sussed. And then you're out. Especially like not a chance to defend your title. It's actually reckless, man. That's a sad situation, man. The fact that they have to put on the black screen and write Kerr was replaced, or Kerr was, they let Kerr go and he was released, and Rodman was released, they traded Kerr and they traded this and they traded that. And then it's like, that's how you all end? Really? With no elite footage of another trophy? Like, or at least you lost, and you know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. Like, obviously you're on top, which is good, but it's like, man, it's crazy, man. But anyways, you already know, I apologize for the long video, but just, stay tuned. I'm going to be starting a podcast soon. I'm just getting all this stuff right, getting it ready. So stay tuned. We're going to transition to that as well. So obviously you will have longer, audio and longer type of just content. So y'all can listen while you're in the shower and do all type of stuff. Cause I know y'all wanted me to have a podcast from time, but we just get into kinks out, you get what I'm saying? So will be more content, more footage, and then the breakdowns will still be on YouTube. And I'll still probably put visuals for the, the podcast, etc. Like, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, it's just to give you guys more content and just, to be out there more. Obviously, not to be sparingly out there, especially with the season stop. But this will be moving forward, even with the season, etc. Try and transition into getting special guests. Just, we have higher goals and higher ways we could get to a higher platform and get to my own elite version of MJ. You know what I'm saying? And Kobe and them. You know what I'm saying? So you already know it's True Talks, because True Talks. Share, like, and subscribe. You already know. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Like I said before, time and time again, as I said also in the intro, you can click below if you want to help donate and support your boy. You know what I'm saying? The Patreon link is below and the PayPal link is below as well. So you already know. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate the support. I appreciate the views. I appreciate everything. Keep getting this out. Share it to your friends. Also, subscribe and follow to my Instagram pages, my Twitter page as well. You already know, man. I just appreciate y'all, like I said, each and every time. And the people that have been donating, I appreciate y'all. It's been definitely noted. I apologize for not shouting y'all out from time. You've just been getting these videos out, you get what I'm saying? But I see everything y'all do, all your comments, everything. And I appreciate y'all, you get what I'm saying? It's a long video, you already know, but it had to be done. You feel me? An elite documentary, you got to get some elite talking, some elite IQ, because that's what I do. You feel me? And I'm out, man.